I'm using a mic, though I don't know if it's going to help to reduce the background noise because it's raining, like it's raining heavily. Hi, if you're seeing this for the first time, my name is Asma'u, and I'm a Port Harcourt based person. Not from Port Harcourt though, but I'm based here, right? This is where I live. So when you hear Port Harcourt, you know, na River State, we are rain while like this. But excuse me, fortunately for us, we do not experience the kind of flooding that people in Lagos, Bielsa, yeah, experience. No, we do not experience flood like that, right? Yeah, but my mic is on. Maybe this might help with the translation because it's really raining. Like today's rain, it's just the type that will be good for someone to just lie down and sleep. I've slept enough. I beg, it's happen. All right, guys. Okay, I can just start talking before anybody will come and meet me here, or if you're rewatching this. I remember some years back. I don't know if I still have the video on public or I've privated it. I can't remember. But sorry, oh, I open it on. Okay, so um, it was about Baba Ijesha. Yes, like I don't have a daughter. I don't have a biological daughter of my own. Let me be more specific. But I have two nieces. I have two nieces. And I'm a female, as you can see now. My gender is not going to be disputed. Biological female, right? So what am I saying here? Is that things like this they get to me, and I don't know why. Like they just have this way of getting to me. I even during that time of Baba Ijisha own, it was so painful that we're talking of a minor. I'll tell you guys something. It's just so unfortunate that we're in a country where um I would say in as much as it's reducing, but the fact is that it's still there. It's reducing compared to before. Let me still acknowledge the fact that it's reducing. Social injustice is reducing, but is there. And guess who is at the receiving end? The XX gender. When you hear XX, it means the female gender. We are the ones at the receiving end. If you thank you so much. Please give this stream a thumbs up. Feel free to contribute. If you're in Nigeria, there's a trendy topic. I just got off it from TikTok. Like I don't even know how I managed to hold my tears, but I just felt this pain. Like, and let me say, there's something I've noticed. My own unpopular opinion. I don't know what it is about men and microphone. Mm. When you give men microphone, the way they tell on themselves, it's not normal. I'm telling you, it's just not normal. We women we sabi lie. Let me just tell you the truth. When we first come on the microphone, we tell a lot of maybe myself. I don't know. What am I trying to say? Women, we tell a lot of lies on where like we are like acting movies, you know what I'm trying to say to you. I remember going to a content creators event and I was saying that all of them were laughing. I'm like, come, even like all of us are Nollywood actors and actresses, they were now laughing. Because when you see the person in real life, God, the person is totally different from who you're seeing online. Like there are some of them that their boldness online is not normal. But when you meet them real life, God, I don't want to use the word like they are so introverted. But these are people that will come online, laugh, dance. But when you meet them real life, they are so freaking introverted. And I'm like, that kind of thing. So I'm talking based on the angle of the females, like we're good at that, right? But the angle of the men are good at telling on themselves, to be honest. Now, this I've never heard about this guy, not this case, this Odogwu Asaba. I have never heard about him. He's onto this case. No, there are a lot of social media celebrities now, you know, so I don't know him, right? So it was this whole thing that happened, and then of course, when things like this happen, people begin to trend for the wrong reasons. And I don't know. I'm just trying to digress, but this is it here that I've noticed, right? Um, when older women are talking, I'm talking now because I'm a woman. When older women are talking, listen to them. Mhm. As a younger person, when your older counterpart, a female, like let me tell you why I'm saying this thing for sure. My leg was paining me, like under my feet was seriously paining me, especially when I wake up in the morning. When I put my leg on the ground, God have mercy, the pain, eh? Like when I even sit for a long time, like when I'm sitting down on this, I'm doing this live stream. If I'm going to stay here up to an hour, when I stand up, God have mercy, it's like there are needles under, and it's on my right leg, only my right leg, only one leg. There are needles that are choking. I'm even traumatized. You know that, eh? I cannot sit for a while and then just stand up and move. I can't. I was just sitting there alone. I was talking to myself. I say, what if there's a danger? How do I move? Like my right leg literally gets stiff. Do you understand? I'm even scared of sitting at a place. I prefer to stand. There was no swelling, there was no redness, nothing. So I was talking to one lady, like that lady should be like, she should be well in her 50s, obviously, older than me. So I was now, I don't know, just impassively, I was now complaining to her that I don't know what's happening to this, my leg. This. And she now said, okay, that I should be putting my leg in hot water every night and rubbing balm, any form of balm, rub, mentholatum, aboniki, neurogesic, that I should just do that, right? Now, when she told me that thing, I was like, just like that. She said, yes. She said, which leg? I told her only one leg. She then said, I should be putting the two, even if the other one is not paining me. But guess what? I didn't do it though. I didn't do it at all. Right? For what reason? I don't know. Because, okay, I just felt that, let me go to the hospital first. Like, there are some conditions that you find yourself that when you now go and do some certain DIY, you might worsen the situation. So I just told myself that, no, let me first go to the hospital. Right? So, I still didn't go to the hospital like ASAP. And let me tell you something about that situation. It can just disappear. Yes, it can disappear. It wasn't like a reoccurring pain. No, 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 no. It can just disappear. Then I'll forget that I even have something. Then that one good day to just come in full force. So there was this day I just made up my mind. I'm like, you know what, let me just go to the clinic. So on getting there, the first test they did for me was diabetes. I'm just digressing. I just want to see something here, then come back to the point. Now it was the first thing they check on my blood sugar. Ahead, there was speculation of maybe early stages of. So they checked my blood sugar was super duper normal, right? So this nurse now told me that okay, that did some other, then she now told me that my body, I'm allergic to cold. I was like, stop it. Hey, when they did some tests and everything came out, I was like, huh? What did you just say? That I'm allergic to cold, that I should be wearing thick socks, like I should be rubbing balm and all of that. So that's when I remember that there was this woman that my old, I like call her my, okay, she's an acquaintance, right? That told me that I should be putting my leg inside hospital, then rub balm, then wear socks. I won't even forget. She even told me that I should buy thick socks, not light ones. I should buy. You get. So what am I trying to say to you? When I started this therapy, oh God, in less than 2 weeks, the pains disappeared. I was angry with myself. I'm like, when they tell you to listen to older people, you don't you know whether we like it or not. These people are still relevant. They are still very, very relevant in our life. Their advice is still very important. But what am I trying to say here to you guys is the fact that when older women talk, younger women listen. At least I'm in a stage where I can say I can talk to ladies in their 20s, even in their 30s. I can talk to them, and based on my own little experience, so it's not as if me too, I'm so streetwise like that. But what am I trying to say? When this whole news came out, I just pictured my 20-year-old self, like Favour. Would I maybe have done what Favour did? I might do it too. Let me not even overhype myself. Now, they are always giving us this impression of married men are responsible, blah 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 blah. And that is why when we come on this app, any app, social media app, and say all men are like this, they'll say no, they will not even take away the attention of what the message you're trying to create. Me, if I'm talking, I normally say with my full head, I'll say with my full chest, I'll say all men. If you know you're not in that demographic, then remove yourself. It's simple. How many times men used to come out here and say all women? If not until now, if men are talking, they talk in generic. Or they will even tell you who all women are the same. I remember when I did one sociology course like that. The guy was talking about generalizing women. He said in the past, men saw women all as the same. That was why you see a professor for a professor in a university will go and marry a village woman, an illiterate village woman. Yes, because the mindset at that time is all women are the same. What are they going to come and do? The regular now. You know now women were just meant for basic domestic chores. So they didn't see it like, he's educated, he's going to marry an illiterate. But over time, that is sociology for you, and they say change is constant. Over time, they now realize that there's a huge difference between going to marry an illiterate woman and a literate woman. Now, some of those same professors, because probably they have built a congregation. When I mean that they built a congregation, they've had children now with these women, and it's not going to be easy for them to just ask these women to go like that. So some of them will now go and educate the women. I won't forget those days when I was in university, there were a lot of lecturers' wives. All those ones that they went to marry them as illiterates from the village. When the women have given birth to like 3, 4, 5, 6, those days they were giving birth to quite a number. They now bring them back to school. First of all, they'll start enrolling them in all those extramural classes so that they can attempt WAEC. You see some of the women, they will come and tell you that they've written WAEC 6 times. Those days when knowledge was knowledge, not now that it's just cut and join. Yeah? Imagine now in Nigeria, jam 100 now is a pass mark. Can you imagine? But that's by the way. Those days, these women will come to school. You will see them, lecturers' wives. They'll be struggling. Some of them will come. Some of them, the lecturers will be pushing them. To be pushing them to just be, that kind of thing. So how did we get to a point where you said all women are the same? To now picking up and they're still going. So it means that there's a huge difference. So you see what the society has, how it has evolved, right? So what am I saying here? The reason why I digress and I made this thing is that when we say all men are like this, if you know you're not part of it, remove yourself. But like I said to you, there's always this indoctrination of when a man is married, he's responsible, he's he has a lot to lose, blah, 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 blah. And then look at the age difference between this Odogwu Asaba guy and this Favour. He's twice her age. He's 44 years old. And Favour is just 20. Some people are saying 19, some people are saying 20. It's all between that age bracket. Just a little bit ahead, a little bit away from being a teenager. And then this guy came online marketing that he can teach people how to content create. Look, I'm a Nigerian content creator and I know it's really tough. Is it from the data? Like 2 days ago, I was even buying data, the thing was peppering me. I'm telling you, I'm buying 7 gig for 3,500 naira. That is almost how many? How do I even? You get that kind of thing. Now, ends need to meet. I don't even know I'm trying to say to you. And we're in a society now where I don't know what is going on. To be honest with you, I really don't know what is going on. Parents will bring children into this world, and I expect these children to cater for themselves and cater for them. Like there's this mindset of children now being financially responsible in the home. How did we get to that point? How did we get to that point? I remember those days we were kept in check. Like, I don't know if some people might see it as a good or a bad thing, but I remember those days we were being kept in check by our parents, threatening us that they will not pay our school fees. So you don't have a choice than to behave yourself. You understand? But now, how can you threaten a child that is even the one feeding the family? Is even the one paying the rent? Is the one putting the bills off? How would you even threaten that child? Those days when you misbehave, they will threaten you that you will not eat. Now you tell a child that they will not eat. How? Like, in fact, to begin with, I didn't really eating in the house. Let's analyze it in outside a bit. So, what am I trying to say here to you guys? The fact that yes, the world is like that doesn't mean that we shouldn't protect children. In my own opinion, that Favour girl is a child. I don't know if I've said the background story before I started talking about this. Because like I said personally, I don't even know this guy, if not because of this case. It's a guy of a man of 44 years old that raped a 20-year-old girl, and the girl unalived herself out of spite. The thing is that we're living in the same world, and that is why you see this fighting for social justice is a big deal for we, the female gender. We live in the same world, but guess what? We're experiencing this world differently. The men are experiencing this world differently. The women are experiencing this world differently. I remember having a conversation with my younger brother, and he was talking about something. And I told you that guy, you and I cannot argue on this topic. Do you know why? Because we do not have the same stand. You think you're seeing things. you're viewing things through your own lens as a man, and I'm viewing things through my own lens as a woman. If you look, thank God, most men will tell you that men and women are not the same. Bam! 100%, you're very correct. Men and women are not the same. We have one thing in common, humanity, but our biology is not the same. Our mindset is not the same. Our mentality is not the same. Our emotions is not the same. Our nurturing is not the same. Our nature is not the same. But unfortunately, I would say in most cases, we tend to ignore that fact. Yes, what do I mean by we tend to ignore that fact? Let me speak for the men. From their biology, they tend to be more horny all the time than women. We women, our honey period is a short period during that ovulation period, right? That is our honey period. You know what I'm trying to say. But men is like then they don't get ovulation period. They are honey from the first day of the month to the end. So what am I trying to say to you? As a man, the kind of urge that you have is not the same thing. The kind of mentality that you have is not the same thing. The way you value that your 5 minutes pleasure, that is not the same thing. And mind you, when you even talk, I'm sorry to just go a little bit deep, although thank God this my video is not for children. When you talk deep, when you delve deep into the orgasm kind of thingy, we do not have the same orgasm level. There are some women that will tell you that in this life they have never reached orgasm. They have never. And these are women that are inside marriage for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. But they will tell you they have never. So what does that tell you? But the man back to back is always doing his thing. You get what? So what am I trying to say here? Even from that dynamic, you would know. We have never said that we're the same. We know there's a huge difference. Even when you look physically, even when you do biology from puberty stage, you will know that the puberty of a female is totally different from the puberty of a male. Even our brain function, even the frontal lobe, the frontal cortex, the development level is not on the same pace. There's a little bit of difference. The lady's own develops faster than the guy. Are you seeing? But it doesn't mean that the development is the same. I hope what I'm saying is still making sense. It is not the same. So when sometimes men say certain things, especially this era of people are saying they don't want to get married, men will say you will die alone. I don't know what makes men think that women are scared of loneliness. Like, what made them think that we even what you people term as loneliness? What make you think that that is what we term as loneliness? You know, there are days that when I wake up, I can even hear my neighbor talking, but I'll just keep quiet. I just want to be alone. I can just be indoors for a whole week. I'm telling you, like, I can just be freaking indoors with, like, initially my neighbors they didn't understand me, but later they now got to understand me. Do you get that kind of thing? So what you guys think as loneliness is not like that. Why do you think that when a woman loses her husband, she's comfortable being in that state for years? Some say never ever marry. But in the case of the man, there are some too that will say they will never remarry, but the number of those remarrying are more than the ones not remarrying. And the ones not remarrying, they find life easy. It's really tough. You understand? It's really, really. I remember there was a guy that said his wife traveled one time like that he nearly collapsed. That he nearly collapsed. That she left him with the children. They have 2 kids. One is 5 and the other one is 8. That he nearly collapsed. That is even doing as if he collapsed. That he had to call his sister to come. So he was now wondering, then how does his wife do this thing? And then she still, when he still comes out from work, he still see her looking good, looking so unfeased. And I said, who told you? It's just, I don't know. Just like I told you, men and women are not the same. You get that kind of thing. Like I remember when I was doing a course on introduction to IT. Yeah? Information technology, and we were being taught about the history of computers. We highlighted the aspect of the Second World War. That was in 1945, if I'm not mistaken. And then there were a lot of computers that were in form, and one of the relevant ones was ENIAC, right, by Herman. And he created a computer that was going to be used during the war. So while in the practical aspect, he kept using men to practicalize that computer, and men kept spoiling that thing. Not until he now used women, because it was, those days now. Come on, 1945. That's how many years ago, right? There was a lot of there was a lot of analog system, right? So while this thing is running, you're doing this, you're doing now. The women tend to be better in multitasking than the men, and so at the end of the day, the women were the ones that eventually managed that computer. So what are we trying to see here? We're not the same. Now, this guy that is 44 years old, married with kids, now that part now him pain me most. He has two beautiful, like, I. When some of these feminists will come out and tell you that some of these women you're married to rapists, they know what they're saying. Oh. They know what they're absolutely saying. Like I said, we all have different experiences. Yeah. Now, this Odogwu Asaba guy, he's a content creator. And he's a businessman as well. He's a family man. Like, just check out this person's dynamic. And online, he shows how he has sales girls, and these sales girls are young. He shows how he helps young girls from the streets. This guy painted himself like a philanthropist, like a good man. He shows how there was even a video of his that I watched, that he was interviewing a 19-year-old girl that is pregnant, that the guy that pregnanted her ran away and left her, and then he took upon it. So then he also organizes like all this GoFundMe kind of ish to help all these young girls. Like, this guy dedicated himself to helping young girls. That's why I said men tell on themselves once they have microphone. I don't know what microphone does to them, but they just tell on themselves. Now he was being all over the place, like, showing girls of that age, of the Favor's age, because Favour is 20. I hope my whole conversation is not scattered. I hope it's making sense. Anyways, now Treasure is Favour. Sorry, I call that Treasure. Favour is just 20, and she sees how he shows off these young girls around her age, that he helps them. Now he even keeps saying that Nigeria is a place that does not have laws to protect young girls. Little did I know that this same person is on top of the same young girls. In fact, little did we even know that this same person is happy that Nigeria does not have those laws. But I just pray that Nigeria will happen to him, because Nigeria have laws. And don't pray for the day that those laws will work on you. That is when you will know that Nigeria have laws. Nigeria have laws, and those laws, they do work. It's just unfortunate that those laws do not work as effective as it should. But guess what? It works. It works. Now there's a video on him circulating online, begging with handcuffs, begging. Do you know the part I wish I can even avoid talking about it, is the part where the girl, out of spite, out of pain, this girl unalived herself. And this girl was a virgin. This girl had never had any form of intimacy with a man. This guy put out a video, I saw it online, saying that he wants to help young. I don't know if it was specific on gender. I don't think it was specific on gender, but he put out a video claiming he wants to help upcoming content creators. Do you know that if I was in those days that I was in my desperate state to be a content creator, to make money online, there was a time I was so desperate. Later on, I just got tired of the whole thing, right? Like, this my channel now, just there. I'm not earning yet. The channel is just there, but I'm just pushing by the special grace of God. If it was my era, those days that I was so desperate, to be honest with you, I would pick up his offer. I would say, and he said for free, in as much as he claimed that there were terms and conditions, which, to be honest with you, from someone with those kind of talking points of having this interest of younger people at heart, you wouldn't think that his terms and conditions would be anything out of this world. And so this girl, seeing that her distance where she is residing and where he is not too far, they say it's about an hour by road. This girl decided to take it upon him. And for God's sake, I don't know. See, I know people will always say what they want to see, right? And look, this girl is in the system. That is why I said we're in a system where it's totally messed up, right? This girl is in the system. She sees it. A lot of women have come on this app, both married women, single, that will come and say they were molested, and people will like the victim. Even I don't know what it is about victim blaming with victim blaming, and obviously the victims are always the women, always the women. Some people say even men, but I don't care about that. Right now, we're not talking about a man, we're talking about a woman. You know, as I hate that interjection where they're talking about a serious case, you're bringing one case that is not even inside the situation. As in, this thing is, I don't know, am I getting triggered? I hate getting so attached to things like this because it bothers me, honestly speaking. At this point, I don't want to stress my mental health. Yes, my mental health needs to be in check. Yes, because I'm in school. But this is what happened. This girl seeing that his advert saying that he's helping new content creators, claiming that there's money online, there's money on this app, you'll be able to foot your bills. And Nigeria now is tough. Forget, Nigeria is tough. If you do not know how to be grateful to God, you this Nigeria, you will get hypertension. So this girl now took the opportunity, the fact that it's for free, and now told this guy, it's like she sent him a DM that she was interested in this, his free classes, blah, 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 blah. See where she is. He now said, okay, she should come and meet him. I think he's in Asaba because that's why he calls himself Odogwu Asaba. You guys can check him out. Well, nothing special. And the girl is in Ugeli, they said, right? And they said that between Asaba and Ugeli, they said it's about an hour drive by an hour. So she now reached out to him and told him she was interested, and he now said she should come. But prior to then, I think that they became kind of friendly with each other. You know, as much as I see some content creators say, then be careful, don't make friends online. I totally do not really agree with that. I've made very good friends that till today were just like sisters. I made them online. So people are people. We have the good people, we have the bad people. Do you understand? So I don't like that generic statement where don't be online. And once people are online, the evil online rubs up on them. So me now that I'm online, I'm evil, I be. I've met people from online, I've met them face to face. You get what I'm trying to say is that people are people. It's just that now our life is now mostly online. Yes, our like play. We're now living life online. There are some people that hardly even interact with people now offline. All their life now is online. There are some people that will be on live stream for you from morning to night. So tell me what time they have to actually relate with people in their own community or in their own environment. You get what I'm trying to say to you. So at the end of the day, there are certain things that the way we project it, and especially a girl of 20 years, that is a Gen Z, they are the pure digital natives. These people are living their, if I like from when they are in their in their mother's stomach, their mother is already creating content with them, pregnancy content. So tell me how that child will come out, grow up in front of the camera, and would not embrace the lifestyle of the camera. You people should tell me how. And now this Gen Z, they've realized that they will even say that don't work hard, work smart. See, someone like Pella, them. Look at the kind of money that boy is making. Where is he getting it from? Online. So it is so relatable. It is so believable, right? Therefore, he projected that he was there to help, and he specifically targeting the younger ones, right? I don't know if I'm just trying, because I watched the video, I wish I even came with it, right? But literally, he's trying to tell young, upcoming creators that there's money online, and if they want to learn, they should come. And he is doing well because you can see his lifestyle. He has 2 businesses, he has a boutique, and he has a salon. He is doing well. You see him raising funds for people. I won't say there was a show of wealth, but you could just see a successful person. When you see a successful person, you know a successful person now, like, you know, someone that is doing well financially, right? You can see his family, you can see his wife, you can see his kids, you can see where he lives. It's comfortable, you know. We like aesthetics, yeah. So this girl reached out to him, they started talking back and forth. So the girl said that she has spoken to someone to help her with this content creation thing, and the person is in Abuja. The person said she should come to Abuja. He's also a man. When they say all men, then we come and be shouting. I don't care if you want to, my comment section is open, Kwanu. If you want to say your mind, say your mind. No, if like, but it is always a man. Mm. And there's something we women, we call ourselves out. If in as much as I hate calling women out, but if it gets to that point, I call women out. I'm like, babe, this way they do, go well, try, But there's something about this bro code that you guys keep pulling themselves backward. You understand? Where you guys find it until now, self that some men have started managing to start calling other men out. Sumo. It's still not there. Because even in the midst of this whole chaos, there are some men that are still on this guy's side, low key. The only reason why they cannot be loud about being on his side is because the girl unalived herself. Now that is the part where I want to talk about as a female gender. Do you know the disgust? Do you know, like, see, there's how as a woman say you give yourself to someone that you love, but maybe at that time you guys are having a misunderstanding. Do you know you feel empty. You will feel very, very bad. This like just let's say you and your partner, you guys are quarreling, some things can happen. You guys are just quarreling, and then maybe there's an initiation of intimacy, and it does happen. There's this part of you that will just be feeling, I won't say disgusted because disgusted is a strong word, but there's this part of you that will just be feeling bad about the whole situation because your state of mind, you're not even happy. This is with someone you love. This is with someone that you are doing it to. Then how much more someone that you're not doing it and your first time experience, like her first time experience. Even my first time experience, it was weird. I didn't know how I felt. This was even with consent or with somebody legal, partner and everything. But there was this awkwardness. Then how much more in a non-consenting, forceful way? You guys know it. Let's call it what it is. How, like I keep saying, the men will never understand. It's only my fellow women that we understand. Do you know how disgusting that thing is? It's just that the girl was already going through a lot, if you ask me, because I know someone that will go out of their way just to come and, you could just see that there was some level of desperation. Yes, there was some level of desperation, maybe even some undertone of frustration. And then you now go meet this person that he first took her to his shop, that his shop is attached to a hotel or something like that. Next thing, he now told her they should go into the hotel, and she was like, why? But like I keep saying, there's this thing that when you say all men, they'll tell you it's not all men. And especially someone like this Odogwu Asaba that has portrayed himself, though there were some things he was saying. As I said, if men have microphone, they tell on themselves. You get, there were certain things he was saying, but at that time, no one will know that he was actually telling on himself. There are certain things he was saying, and but there's something someone told me, that if a man is condemning a particular thing, that he's attracted to that thing, that he's just trying to talk himself out of it. What am I saying? I used to have this friend that was always against girls that dressed indecently, that showed a lot of skin. And I'm like, mind your business. She's not your girlfriend. She's not, like, he was acting so angry. It was later on someone was telling me that is a lie, that he likes those kind of girls. And I later believed that, because eventually when he now had this girlfriend, if you see the kind of provocative dresses that girl was wearing, that was there. I had to ask him, how are you going to, I was forced to ask him that, how are you going to introduce this girl to your mother? Because if you see what this girl wears, there was a day I saw her at the bank. But now, this is someone that has always been condemning girls that dress like that. That is the girl you decided to carry home to mama. It was so weird. So that was when I now knew that about men. If they're complaining to you about tall girls, trust me, they are attracted to tall girls. If they're complaining to you about short girls, trust me, they're attracted to short girls. That's in their condemning. They like it. Forget. So, this Odogwu Asaba will come online and be claiming holier than thou, be claiming like advocates for women, be claiming the he's against social injustice against women. In fact, he was, at some point, he even added his own advocacy with stereotype. I'll call that stereotyping, because he was specifically attacking a particular tribe, Igbo people from Anambra State. There was a video of his I even watched. He said 90% of the men that were born and brought up in Onitsha, that they beat their wives, they are very, very violent, they are very controlling, they are very dominating. He specifically even figured out a tribe. He even figured out a tribe. That was how bad he was. And talking and talking and talking. He keeps, he comes off like an advisor. That is why me still, in as much as I follow some of these male content creators that tend to be advocates for women, I still don't trust them like that. Because I don't trust them like that. They are still benefiting from that same system that is maltreating the women. So I don't really trust them like that. And like I said, we are in the same world, but we are having different experiences, totally different experiences. Like I said, we're different biologically, naturally, physically. We're different. We have one thing in common, that is humanity. But when you talk of contrast, we have, in as much as we have similarities, we also have huge disparities. Are you between the male and the female gender? So this girl, I don't even want to do. When you guys go online, you just check. Just when you Google Odogwu Asaba, it's trending everywhere. It's on Instagram, it's on TikTok, it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube. Just type Odogwu Asaba, what I just wrote, and Favour. You guys will see the guy, because I don't even want to play anything that will just touch me now. Because when you guys watch this girl's video, oh goodness, God. Oh goodness. It's triggering, to be honest with you. Let me just start warning the women now, because I know it's really we, the women, that we understand that girl's pain. The men might just sympathize, but they will never understand the intensity of a woman being abused, a young girl being abused, and as a first experience. And then some men came online saying the girl is wicked for unaliving herself. You don't know people's mental health. You don't know people's mental states. I am not saying she unaliving. It's so unfortunate that she got down that path. But what I'm trying to say to you guys is that victim blaming at this point, even when, because see, like I said, there's a pattern, there's a matching pattern. You think this girl doesn't see these things? There's how many girls have come online to say that they were raped and people believe them? How many? Irrespective of wherever they went and to report that case. There was one video I was watching like that of TB Joshua that time, those days after his death, and there were a lot of old clips that were popping online. There was this girl that came and was telling him that she was raped, and guess what this guy said? That she wasn't raped anything, that she's just a temptress. What kind of talk is this? That is going to deliver her from the spirit of he's going to deliver her from the spirit of a temptress, that she's a temptress. Which one is she's a temptress again? Eh? But there's something that I'll still talk based on from an intellectual angle. I'll say intellectual angle, right? Because this is it. The way God created women are attractive. It's out of their control. And that is why it's advisable for modesty purposes. You cover. If you don't want to cover, you still your body. Because I'm not trying to say that you have to cover in order to make the other person feel good. Because in some cases, even with the covering, you're still not safe. Right? But what am I trying to say to you? When you look at the anatomy of a female, is attractive. You know who will tell you that better? The artists, all these artists that draw, they'll now when they start defining the female contours for you, you will not be wondering, are they talking about, like, you will not be wondering they're being fictional, but they are being realistic because they understand that aspect of humanity. So you meet a girl, she's fine. That is how she was created. Because you cannot resist her beauty, you are now blaming her for tempting, like make it make sense. How? It's just like now you see a fine guy. Even fine guys, all those guys that are good looking, they might be able to relate. Nah, the guy no wants. He did not come for all these girls, but all these girls are clamoring over him. They are buying him gifts. They are throwing themselves at him. So will you now blame him? It's just that let's go religious. Let's go biblical a little bit, right? The story of Joseph and Potiphar's wife. So would you, why are you people, you see how you see the stereotype, you see the hypocrisy. Why is it that when it's the other way around, you guys do not blame the men? Why is that you don't say the man, the victim? Why didn't, as much as yes, the Joseph ended up in the prison, which was still God's mission for him. He ended up in the prison as a result of whatever situation between him and Potiphar's wife. But at the end of the day, his handsomeness and attractiveness was given to him by the Almighty. So will he be, I want to cover him. Are you getting what I'm trying to say here? So that is the dynamics when some men, let me see, respect that fact, say that the woman tempted them. And then these men will shamelessly be even victim blaming. Yes, there was something about the girl going to go and meet him. But mind you, she wasn't going to go and meet him for hookup purpose. Like I was saying, during that my era when I was desperate to make it on this internet, you see that kind of opportunity, I'll go. I'm telling you, I'll say, let me go and grab this opportunity, because you see these same business coaches or all these same motivational speakers. They will tell you that if you don't go for that opportunity, you won't see someone they are coming to give their testimony in life. They'll be like, I just took the bull by the horn. I didn't even have a dime. I had to go and borrow money. I remember there was this lady I was watching. One of those ladies in TVC, that The View, those ladies. She said she had to borrow clothes. She had to borrow this to go and do a makeup job. You get, she just took the bull by the horn and said, you know what, maybe this is her opportunity. Because sometimes we pray to God for opportunity, and when the opportunity comes, we use our hand to reject it. You know, I don't know. You see, it's just that when things like this happen, and people just tend to lean towards the side that favors them, or the side that makes them feel comfortable, or the sides that let them sleep at night. Mm. Mm-hmm. Who knows if this was really an opportunity? And like I said, the way this guy has portrayed himself, like we have them a lot here. You see, onto social media came out, that's when we even knew that some of those our so-called celebrities were whacked. So how about you mirror that same narrative on all of those our Nigerian celebrities for this same social media celebrities? It's still celebrity. At the end of the day, they have one thing in common. At the end of the day, character does not define the fame that the person has at the moment. And at the end of the day, as human beings, we are flawed. We are flawed, we make mistakes. Like, I don't know how you expect perfection from a 20-year-old, even from a 50-year-old. Even this guy, I'm not saying it to favor him, or the guy that committed this crime, the Odogwu Asaba himself. He's 44. Yes, he's also flawed. It's so unfortunate that he allowed his, but the thing is this, he has a wife. Now that part now they scatter my head. And the girl, as the Favour narrated, because the girl more like dropped a suicide note. That's what I'll call it, because she documented it on social media. So I'll call that a suicide video, just really equivalent to suicide notes. And she explained everything in details before she unalived herself. Unfortunately, when the video had gotten viral, or when the people saw the video, the girl has already unalived herself. Now, the girl said that if she had come online to say it, people will not believe her. And already the guy, after that humiliation, because I didn't even like talking about the whole situation, she explained it. If you guys want to go and watch, you can watch it, but I'm not going to talk about it here, right? Now, from her explanation, she said after the whole action of his, he now pretended to be sober. So that's to tell you that that's a very wicked man. He now pretended to be sober at first. Then secondly, he now humiliated her, meaning he didn't even give her money. He now started making jest of her. In fact, guess what? It was even about his ego. Yeah, whereby he was telling her that he has never done this before. He has never, he has never been the first. And so, like it now became like now suddenly it now became like an ego boost for him. Like, this is my first time of this virgin. And you can imagine that even when he sent her transport money to come and meet him in his location, but knowing fully well that this guy did not have money. He was one that sent her the transport money that she used to come and meet him in his location. But this guy still had the mind to not give her enough money to go back to her location. So you can imagine the wickedness. Now, the thing that she even came, all the discussion that they even had. And you see, one thing about men is the fact that they are only protectors when they want to be the one to create that harm. What am I trying to say to you? Now, she was telling him about a guy that was trying to take advantage of her, that is telling her to come to Abuja. And I told her not to go, let her don't do that kind of thing. And looking at his kind of content, he came up like a moral police. That kind of thing. So telling her, look, that is why they say your abuser will always make you feel comfortable. He depicted himself like all these responsible men, responsible. Some of them, they have all these families and all of this packaging just to convince people that they are good people. When in the real sense of the word, they are evil. Right now, he now told her that no, she should not do that kind of thing. She should not go to Abuja. She should not do that. No, don't do that kind of thing. And this girl now got more and more comfortable with him, and even feeling safe without even meeting this person. So at the end of the day, he was protecting her from that guy, from that Abuja guy, so that he will be the one to insert that harm. You see, so it wasn't protecting her as in protecting. He was only protecting her for himself. Let him be the one to do it. After even doing it, he was happy that this is the first time he's doing a thing like that. Then humiliated her. Then there's a video of him going online. In fact, I was watching that video and I was just shaking my head. Where now the whole situation had gone bad, because he never knew that this girl was going to take this aggressive route. He never knew that this girl was going to honor life herself. It's so unfortunate. That thing they paid me. He never knew that this girl was going to, because she was an aspiring nurse. I think they said she was in nursing school or so. So she never knew she was going to take this route. He thought she was just going to come and maybe expose him on social media, and because he has the most of the following, people were not going to believe her. Even if she was going to go and to the police, he was going to go and pay police, because our system now, he was going to go and do some fraudulent activities that will counter her. And besides, Odogwu Asaba compared to that nobody. The girl is Favour is a nobody. Now, if not because of this thing that happened to her, and that everybody knows her. Unfortunately, she's popular in death. Yes, now she's now very popular in death. He knows that the level, there's already a hierarchy whereby he's at the top and she's at the bottom. So who will believe her? And it's not like she has solid evidence. I know there's one case that is very difficult to prove. Is rape. Yes, is this case. So it's going to be word of mouth. Her word against his word. And because he has painted an image, a responsible image. In fact, you see this kind of men, their wives will even come out and defend them. You see that had even this whole thing not happened, you see that Odogwu Asaba wife, she will even say she will sue Favour. She will come out and say she's suing Favour for damages, for destroying her. And you see those stupid women. As you see me like this, I can never defend a man on that matter. I decrease. Whoever the man is to me, I decrease, because when that their urge comes, they become somebody that even you yourself, you cannot vouch for anymore. That their urge comes like a spiritual attack on their mindset and their brain. You see that kind, and the Favour said, like she said it as it is. If there was a matching pattern that victims were being supported and being fought for, that girl wouldn't have unalived herself. She would have come out and talk. And you know that as this whole thing came out now, prior to now, there was a sales girl of this Odogwu within that same age bracket. Now, little do you know that that guy was preying on all those small girls. That's why I said something at the beginning of my video. When all these our big aunties are giving us advice, take it to young girls. When all these, your aunties are giving you, talking to you, believe us, because once upon a time, where your age, these men do not mean well. Okay, now this Odogwu Asaba, he's already married, and trust me, I don't think he intends to go into polygamy. He's already married. What are you still following these girls for? What are you still what okay? So at the end of the day, when your aunties tell you to stay away from these men will come and tell you that your aunties are jealous. Waiting, I want jealous of okay. He never knew that this girl was going to take this aggressive route. This, you see, this one that happened is just so unfortunate that the girl's life has gone and it can never come back. But you see, this thing that this girl did, this Odogwu Asaba guy never saw it coming. So wherever he had blocked loopholes or wherever he has built whatever waterproof, I'll call it waterproof or solid proof defense he had created against the favor for himself, he never saw this. He never thought this girl was going to unalive herself. And that's why I told you that the mindset of a woman and the mindset of a man is not the same. It's not the same. You can see that on that has video, that has suicide video. You could see water soap all over her. It tells you that this girl is like she is so disgusted with her own self. Like you could just see the extreme of her mindset. You could see she was washing herself, like she just wants to wash off the experience. She wants to wash off the trauma. When will men know that we are not the same? Emotionally, physically, mentally, we are not the same. That is why when women are expecting men to be multitasking domestically, it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. Even in school, when we're doing home economics classes, the pace at which the ladies pick up the domestic chores is totally different. Do the men pick up? Yes, they do pick up. But you realize that the pace is not the same. You realize that the pattern is even not the same. Whatever a woman will do, if you teach a man, he will learn and do it too. But at the end of the day, there's just this thing. There's this thing, and it's from the nature, it's from creation. And that is why when God even cursed Adam and Eve, to tell you that there's a disparity between a male and a female, God did not give them the same curse. He caused the man different and he caused the woman different. He caused the man using his biology, where he is most masculine, meaning he, as they always claim, the provider, meaning he's the masculine one, and obviously he's the stronger one. He caused him with labor. Then we, the feminine one, that is with the uterus, that carries the power of the nurturing and everything, that was where that of the woman was placed, that there was going to be pain. So are you seeing? So even the Almighty that created the humanity, these two gender, did not just throw one curse. The curse was customized to fit everybody's status quo. So what make you guys think that the way you think is the way women think? And because of the content that this Odogwu Asaba has been putting out, he feels that that content is enough to vindicate him. You see, and then because of the level of exposure between him and this girl, both financially, socially, he was at advantage. Yes, both financially, socially, he was at advantage. Even his videos that is popular where he's begging, you can still see he's attaching it to financial compensation, that he will give up everything. What are you giving up for 5 minutes pleasure? Is he? I don't know his level, his capacity. Because when you look at these men, they overrate themselves as well. Just look at the mess he has created for himself. Just look at. This is where they say the sins of the father. Just look at the mess. Just look at. See, when I continue talking, like, I don't know. as I do things like this, I hate investing in them emotionally. It gets to me. I'm telling you. And besides, I'm not a professional. What do I mean by that? I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. To be able to demarcate personal from um, public. If you know what I'm trying to say, like, what do I mean? My emotions, like, because I'm not a professional, I don't know how to create that boundary of how not to absorb such emotional situation. But it's all good. I just said let's talk about this because I understand that there's always that don't talk bad about the dead, but when we look at this whole dynamics, please, you guys should look at it with an open mind. And if you are above 20, just think of yourself. In fact, you know that like me, I'm a millennial, right? Do you know at 20, I mumu even past the favor. Yes, now because if you look at them, to some extent, the social media has kind of opened this younger generation eyes. We that the social media was not we're not so involved, like, all of the analog systems started with us to transition to digital system. I remember there was one video I was watching, the lady said millennials are running two operating systems. Yes, now that they're running two operating systems and they are at high tendency to crash. So at this point, you have to be old school and new school at the same time. 20-year-old me and Mumu passed the favor. The favor is even thinking of how to make money, she's even trying to push an ambition. She's trying, because after all, we keep preaching to these children that they should wake up, they shouldn't rely on men, they should build their wealth, they should build their net worth, they should build their spirituality, they should build their career path. You can see that there's a lot of advice for women. Why? Because we've been the marginalized group for a long time. So, when you've been marginalized for a long time, you want to really cover up, and this is the results, right? So, when you look at it, see, I'm not saying that people will not blame her. Obviously, all of us cannot be the same, and the system cannot run on one pattern. There are so many patterns. That's the diversity we're talking about. But if we can sit through and see this whole thing, it's high time the system in Nigeria or Africa at large, let me speak of Nigeria since I'm in Nigeria, to begin to consider putting strict laws, because if these men are not put under a tight law, they would never know that what they are doing is wrong. Because unfortunately, men in Nigeria or our typical African culture did not nurture men the way they nurture women. Women are the ones that are being trained. Men are not trained. Men are almost allowed to be wayward. I won't forget those days. I grew up in Jos, and they would tell me that if a woman is, I wish I could say it in Hausa, but let me just try and say it in English. That if a woman is morally um is not is will I say, oh, how do I put this thing, is, let me use the word irresponsible. If a woman is irresponsible, is a shame to her and her family. That was why even the Favour her suicide video, she said she has disgraced herself and her family. She has disappointed, she has disappointed her family and herself. Yes, you could see. So that is that phrase that has been injected or indoctrinated in all of us. That when a woman is irresponsible, she is disgracing herself and her family. But when a man is irresponsible, that it is a social uh, uh, it is a social vice. I don't know how to put this thing. There are some things that when they're in Hausa, it's difficult to translate into English. But let me say it in Hausa. You guys can use ChatGPT or Google Translate. It says that inna mace yar iska ne za ta jawo ma kanta abun gori, abun kunya. Amma in namiji ɗan iska ne, ado ne. Like, if a man is irresponsible, it's like an adornment. But if a woman is irresponsible, is a shame. Like, the moral standard, the yardstick for measuring, the for judging the woman is totally different from the yardstick of judging the man, and that's why the women are always getting the shorter part of the stick. When you talk, a lot of people want to justify it, but at the end of the day, let me be a little bit religious here. In the eyes of the creator, we're all pencil. We're all pencil. They did not say it's only women or only men that are pencil. In the eyes of the creator, we're all pencil. In the eyes of the creator, we'll all face judgment. In the eyes of the creator, we'll all stand up and account for our doings. God did not specify gender. Think about it. Okay, this live stream is almost an hour. It's already 59 minutes. 53 seconds is an hour. Thereabout. Thank you so much. If you're watching this, feel free to drop your comment in the comment section. Also subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm doing here. I'll try my best and be present. Like I told you guys, this channel is just in the direction that I cannot even control again. I'll try my best. I'm tired of making these promises. I even feel like I sound like a broken record at this point, but it is what it is, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. A lot of people on the live stream. I don't know if it's my network, but I didn't see comments. I don't know what I want. Bye, guys.